Welcome to the Scottish Rite Journal podcast, an audio presentation of the Scottish Rite Journal, brought to you by the Supreme Council of the Scottish Rite, Southern Jurisdiction, Mother Supreme Council of the World. This week's article is Hiram's Promise, Beautifying the Temple in the 21st Century in Tucson, by Andrew Hammer, 32nd degree, KCCH, and comes from the January-February 2023 issue of the Scottish Rite Journal. When one thinks of grand Masonic edifices, it is the grand temples of the past that always come to mind. The artistic wonder of Philadelphia's Masonic Temple, the sheer magnitude of the Detroit Masonic Temple, the architectural prominence of the George Washington Masonic National Memorial, and the majesty of the House of the Temple. Each of these, along with many others throughout North America that have sadly faded into history, are accomplishments of the late 19th and early 20th centuries, products of the golden age of fraternalism. At that time, the numbers of men in the craft, the economic conditions in the country, and the presence of wealthy benefactors amongst the ranks of Masons made it possible for Masonic temples to be built to the specifications of the brothers' grandest designs. Today, it is common to hear brothers remark, when visiting such beautiful spaces, "We could never build anything like that again," followed by a listing of all the valid reasons why such efforts are unlikely, if not practically impossible. We bemoan the temples we have lost or sold and resign ourselves to the defeatism which accompanies such sentiments. Yet, hope springs eternal, in the words of Brother Alexander Pope, because in Tucson, Arizona, at the Scottish Rite Cathedral, a superb model of excellence is presently under construction by the hand of one of the brightest lights in the Scottish Rite. One wagers that most members of the Scottish Rite are familiar with illustrious Rex R. Hutchins, 33rd degree, Grand Cross, perhaps best known for his textbook of the Southern Jurisdiction, A Bridge to Light. Dr. Hutchins, 33rd degree, past deputy in Arizona, has spent the past few years working on the creation of a new library as well as the creation of a new Egyptian-themed lodge room within the body of the existing edifice, built in 1915. When one says, "by the hand of," the meaning is literal. Illustrious Hutchins is doing this work himself with the assistance of a few other artisans, including his wife. It is a testament to why we, as Masons, aspire to call ourselves craftsmen. While not completed, the work has begun in such a way as to inspire any brother who sees it to think about the role of aesthetics and artistic expression within his own temple walls. The first 3 verses of the book of Genesis are placed in the arches of the library in 7 different languages: Hebrew, Greek, Latin, English, French, German, and Gaelic, and employing 7 distinct calligraphic styles. This speaks to the philosophical, historical, and geographical universality of Freemasonry through the centuries. The vaults that rise to form the ceiling are hand-bound with rope at the bottom and rest on Corinthian columns. They are ornamented with a delightful array of symbols, offering to the knowing eye an almost encyclopedic journey through the various ideas and peoples that have had some association with our gentle art. Illustrious Hutchins has done this work with quiet industry, all for the love of preserving the wisdom that Masonry has imparted to him. Not only is he fulfilling the promise of Hiram to beautify and adorn the temple, but perhaps also his greatest gift with this work is demonstrating to brethren who are coming into the craft that it is possible for them to create beauty in our Masonic spaces today. While it is understood that many would associate numbers of men in the fraternity with the ability to realize and sustain such things, large membership numbers are not necessarily a factor in determining whether or not such efforts are possible. Indeed, great achievements have always been made by small numbers of people. Naturally, funds will always be necessary in such an endeavor, but more important than money is the inclination to creativity, the will to believe that it can be done, in small ways as well as large. All the money in the world can do nothing without the will to achieve the result. This project exemplifies what Masons can do rather than lament what we tell ourselves we cannot. As we continue to emerge from the challenges of an unprecedented global pandemic, such optimism is itself an essential working tool in building the future of our fraternity. Should the Mason wend his way to Tucson, there are many natural wonders of sacred geometry to behold. The saguaro cactus rules the desert landscape with its foreboding, enigmatic forms. The desert sun provides colors and shadows on the mountains that display the work of the great architect in all its glory. Yet the work of a Mason is also underway in the city that locals refer to as the Old Pueblo. And when the 21st century beautification of the Scottish Rite Temple is finished, it will be yet another reason to visit Tucson. Like and share this article, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you wish to comment, please leave one, and as a reminder, hit the notifications bell. Any accompanying photographs or citations for this article can be found in the corresponding print edition. The Scottish Rite Journal is published by the Supreme Council of the Scottish Rite, Southern Jurisdiction, Mother Supreme Council of the World. Mark Dreisenstock, 32nd degree, KCCH Managing Editor. I'm your host, Matt Bowers.